My name's Doug Grina. I'm the owner of one of the owners of Al's Breakfast and have been for 42 years.
And I'm Rob Hahn. I'll be asking the questions. Today is Wednesday, January 9th, 2019, and we are at Al's Breakfast in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's go back to your first memories of Dinkytown, and maybe more specifically, first time you ever came here to Al's Breakfast.
I didn't come here for several years after I came here in 1967. And it probably wasn't until the 70s that I actually tried to eat here. And that was because I had no money. I was living on rice and beans. But the first time I came to Dinkytown, I visited a friend who was living above Gray's Drugs down on the corner. And I don't remember much about Dinkytown then, because that was like 1968, 69. I didn't actually hang around here. I was a West Bank dude. So I came over here to visit some friends now and again, but I didn't really, I knew somebody in the Florian, the really old apartment buildings on the corner of University and 10th, and that was about when I came over here for. It wasn't until and the first time I came here, I didn't really like it. I thought you had to know somebody I was too shy, oddly enough, and I couldn't get my coffee cup refilled, so I didn't come back. I got a part-time job here in 1977, and within 2 months, Al's nephew asked me if I wanted to buy a mountain a year. So my plans on becoming a horticulturalist went out the window, and instead I've been here for 40 years.
Was it much of a deliberation for you once?
No, I loved food, I loved theater, I loved everything about this place. I was going back to school because the type of theater I liked doing was called it wasn't called performance art back then, it was called experimental theater, but there was no money. So I thought, well, I actually have to live the rest of my life. So I got out of 7 years of theater work because I wanted to find something I could do and earn money. And I ended up here instead, which is an absolutely wonderful curveball.
How have things, before I ask how they've changed, how have they stayed the same since you've owned it?
I was, until 2 years ago when they started building all these apartments where there's like 4,000 or more students here in Dinkytown, I could never figure out why for 30 years nothing changed. I mean, occasional businesses coming and going, but no building changes, nothing really got built. It just stayed the same. That was astonishing to me. I think the only thing that changed is somebody tore down a couple of buildings in the corner there and put in what became the library bar. Originally it was Sammy D's expansion for a little Italian place. I got a Jose up! And I think I'm done. Am I done?
But is the Boston work ever done, right?
Oh yeah, it's done. I'm now down to my last year here, and I'm only working 3 days a week. It turns out when you're the boss, you can arrange things.
Let's talk about the changes. What have you thought of the changes in Dinkytown over the last few years?
I thought it was way overdue. I don't mind it. I like the idea that they're going to try and maintain the look by keeping any new building back from the street section. That's a good idea. It'll keep it with a small town place that it is now. And so they can build all they want. Those high rises down there or back over in this corner, that would be fine with me as long as they keep this look. And that's what appears to be the plan.
What makes, describe some of the characters who come through here or have come through here on a regular basis. Either the well-known individuals or the regulars who are not so well-known to the general public.
I mean, there's anywhere from street people who line their clothing with aluminum foil to NBA stars. So, and ex-governors. We used to get, Arnie Carlson used to come in all the time. Always decked out in Minnesota gear, head to toe. I don't know if you know remember who he was. He was ex-governor. Okay. So we get a lot of different people, and the great thing is they all stand in line, and you're sitting next to. You don't know if you're going to be sitting next to a wealthy person or a street person when you sit down here.
What was Governor Carlson like when he came in?
He's a good guy. Arnie Carlson was a good guy, a very good guy. I didn't agree I don't agree with most politicians. I didn't agree always with what he did, but I thought he was a decent, civil, caring human being. So I really liked it when he came in. He was always friendly and always a good guy.
You were talking earlier about the media coverage that you got. Why don't you tell me how you went about generating local media coverage with next to or a zero
We had
budget?
a zero marketing budget, and I wanted to increase our exposure. And so I would, on our birthdays in particular, I would call, I knew some people who worked in the, like floor directors, that sort of thing. And I would call them up and say, listen, we're going to have a band here, usually with that guy down there, David Baldwin, and the Summit Hill Brass Quintet would come over here and play out front. David, wave to the camera.
Hi.
You're not David. I know David, and you're not David. David's the guy who looks like William Shakespeare. Anyway, he would come over with his group and play out front, and then we'd get the TV to come. And so Channel 9 and Channel 11, I'd get at least one station every time. And after a while, they learned that I was good for a short piece, so we'd get man in the street stuff a lot. They'd come over and ask us about stuff. I remember they came over once and wanted to talk about new eating habits of people. And one of my customers said, oh, I'm trying to cut down on fat. I pat my bacon dry. And I could hear, I was wired up, and I could hear the nutritionist in the booth laughing out loud that he was thinking he was making himself more healthy by patting his bacon dry. So yeah, we've gotten coverage.
You mentioned Dr. Baldwin. We're going to talk to him just a little bit, but he wrote a musical piece about Al's Breakfast.
Yes, music for Al's Breakfast.
What did you think of that when you first heard it?
I thought, having your restaurant be a muse for a piece of modern music is amazing. I was delighted. I'm still delighted.
Do you think that Al's continues to remain almost, without being redundant, a microcosm of Dinkytown?
I don't know that I would necessarily say that.
Dinkytown.
It's more like we get business that the rest of Dinkytown doesn't, because we get a lot of tourists and things like that. And so in a way, we're a little different from the rest of Dinkytown. The rest of Dinkytown is more like fraternity houses and residence halls, young students. When the people in here most of them have jobs. We do get more students now that there's more in town, which is a good thing. But Al's has always been more of a microcosm of the area than of the university.
Have you ever given any consideration under your ownership of expanding?
I always said, you want to open another restaurant, that's fine, but don't kill the one that works. So no, we're not going to expand. We did talk at one time about opening another place, but mostly I knew that what I wanted to do was run this wonderful little submarine, so that's what I did.
How would you define, what do we have, 14 stools here?
14 stools.
I mean, what's the magic of it?
For me, it's like a living thing. It's almost as if I can watch the building breathing. I know every corner of it. I love the idea that every aspect of this, I know how it works and how it works together. We work as a team. Everybody tries to learn every job. I think it's terrific. I try to make it a reflection of the ensemble work I came from. And so it's a lot of fun for me working here. And having it be this compact, it's very intimate, both with you guys and with us.
Let's go back to some of the well-known individuals. You mentioned an NBA star. Can you mention a few others by name and what your memories are of them?
Jim Peterson, a local announcer and longtime NBA and college basketball star, ate in here for years. He just had a few years ago heart bypass surgery, so his diet has changed, but he still comes in. He's a terrific person. We get, Trent Tucker, who works locally, now works with the university. He's been a long-time customer.
Latavius Murray came in today, the Vikings running back.
Okay.
He ate in here.
Okay. I don't notice. I'm not so good at recognizing media people, so I don't notice. Like apparently many long years ago, Sam Shepard and Jessica Lang came in. I had no idea who they were.
What am I forgetting to ask that you want to add about Al's or about Dinkytown or anything else?
I don't know. What about Al's? Al's is, we once got an award from the Gilbert Society because of the way we work as a business and interact. It's more like we're part of the community than we're a business that lives in the community. Our people are connected to us forever. The people who worked here 40 years ago still come in and visit. Everybody who ever worked here comes by. People come back and work again. Most of my employees work for many long years. This is not a big turnover business like most restaurants are. This is us. It's a us place. And us is, we try to include as many of the people who come in into the us as we can. I don't know, I'm an introvert, and this brings me out of my shell. It's a place. Oh, that was when the first guy with aluminum foil clothing showed up. He wasn't harmful to anybody, but he didn't belong on the streets. And I don't think the government ever went back to being a federal government anyway, he declared it freeing them, which I'm not so sure is true.
So you're saying you noticed
I noticed a big change. Yeah, and ever since we've always, now it kind of ebbs and flows probably with oddly enough, it doesn't seem to be ever in sync with the economy. Like the economy's great right now, we have more street people than I'm used to. I think there are a lot more people who are just saying the hell with it, it's not working for me.